thought today I would put together a little video about dumpster diving at law enforcement locations. There's a great myth on YouTube that this is illegal, what I'm doing right here. Oh wow, look at it. This is not the police station. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. Now, dumpster diving itself is actually made and kept legal by law enforcement in the United States. And anyone that tells you any different has no idea what they're talking about. Now, I think this one is the police station dumpster. I'm pretty sure. Could have been the last one. I think it's that one there. It's away from their building. But anyways, like littering and trespassing and loitering and disorderly conduct. There's a lot of things that surround this activity that are illegal, and you can get in trouble and you can get tickets. And I think there's some places in big cities, particularly out on the East Coast, maybe even in small cities, where trash picking off the curb, you can get a ticket for it because the city considers it their property and it's like their recyclables, and they lose out millions of dollars, so they try to stop that. But if you look at those laws, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are going to be written in a way where it says you can get a ticket if you take it from the city property that they claim city property. If you take it and put it into a motorized vehicle, it's illegal. But if you're like on a bicycle or foot, I'm pretty sure that that's still legal, and there's really not anything can do about it because it's in the public domain. I could be wrong about that, so check for sure locally where you live. You know, this isn't legal advice, but I'm talking about what I know where I live for a fact, and probably more than 99% of the United States is going to be the same way. Because cops dig through trash to catch criminals, and they've done it for a long time, and they're going to keep doing it. They're not going to suddenly make this illegal, I can promise you that. This dumpster belongs to a computer shop. They take like old computers and stuff, and like outdated stuff maybe. I'm not sure specifically what they do, but I'm pretty sure they take old computers and fix them up and then give them to needy people, I think is what this place is. Hey, there's some decent stuff in here. A stainless steel doorknob. Hi baby, say hi to everybody. Hi everybody. Some nice pieces of aluminum. Nice chunky stuff. It looks like somebody updated their security system. Probably the computer shop. I mean, anyone can throw stuff in here, I suppose. And they might be sharing it with other places, but I don't know that this came out of the computer shop here specifically. That's off a lot of light fixtures. Who knows for sure where a lot of this stuff really comes from. But I'll take this and I'll cut the wires off of these. And inside of here is going to be like aluminum and brass. So I'll just throw it in with my breakage. most likely. Whatever the yard wants to do with it, really. I'll ask the yard when I take these there, where specifically they want them, what category. Yards do what they want, you know. Good dog. How did you get to be such a good dog? Oh, you just born that way? Okay. I bet some of these light bulbs work. What do you think? If I knew those weren't going to burn my turtle, I would take these. I don't know. Maybe I'll take a couple of them. See what they're all about, I suppose. Some nice little wheels. I think those are brand new, actually. They still got the barcodes. 2-inch swivel heavy duty caster with brake. So yeah, they have been used. Never mind. They're nice though. Bigger ones. I always like to hang on to these little shelving bracket deals. Nice little box of screws. Number 8 by 1.5 inches. Wood, metal, and masonry. Hey, that's a nice screw there. Let's see. Oh, I should have mentioned this by now in the video. The golden rule to dumpster diving is, no matter what, always be polite and leave. If someone came up to me right now, I would just immediately just start getting on my scooter and be as polite as possible, and just always take the submissive and just leave. That's how you do it. And don't ever make a mess, of course, because that is definitely illegal. So if you have questions about the legality of this, just Google it and do a lot of reading and listen to what a lot of different people have to say. The golden rule should hold true for anyone that's actually a dumpster diver. That's kind of your safe zone. Follow the golden rule. And if you get a ticket for something, oh well, you know, you're gonna make plenty of money doing this to pay for a trespassing or loitering or whatever ticket, you know. Just be polite always, at all times, and leave, and that way you won't actually get arrested and taken to jail, because they'll take you to jail if you act like a jerk. They can do that because you're on someone else's property, even though it's still the public domain, you know. That's something else I should have mentioned by now, I suppose. I'm not like going off a script or nothing. Public domain. If you Google this subject, you'll run into the word public domain a lot. Read what public domain means specifically. That's really gonna be your ticket. Like if dumpsters are behind fences and attached to a building, like where I was just at, but I've been doing that for 11 years there, so. And there are situations where you can get trespassing tickets for being on private property. There's a difference between public domain and, like, if a dumpster is behind a fence, that's not public domain at that point. But you just gotta figure it out yourself. There's too many millions of possibilities out there. Just follow the golden rule. Okay, we're gonna head up to the DEA dumpster now. The Drug Enforcement Administration dumpster. Up the road a few miles here. This is the DEA right here. This is their dumpster. It doesn't get any more public domain than this. Sitting literally on a public street. I'm not doing this video for any other reason. You know, I'm not doing this video to be a goonball, just to specifically do police stations. These dumpsters I've been checking as part of big routes. Like I'll check that dumpster, and there's a dumpster there and a dumpster there, dumpsters down there, and I mean I know where every dumpster is around here, and this is just one of them. And so I just figured for YouTube I'd do a little special video here about this specific activity, because unfortunately the YouTube algorithm promotes drama and conflict, and those are always the popular videos. Some sort of emotional drama, those are huge on YouTube. Yeah, maybe not even drama, but you know, just stuff that'll get to your emotions, stuff that makes you watch the videos. Makes you click on them, you know. There's just a bunch of rubbish in there. So like this video here is gonna do pretty good. It's gonna be a pretty good viewed video, simply because I use the word police in the title and the tags and stuff. Unfortunately, that's the truth of YouTube. Unless of course the algorithm is smart enough to understand what I'm saying right now. And it penalizes this video, because that's what I'm saying. I got my dog, it's tethered in here. I take this retractable leash and I get it about like so, and I wrap it around my waist a couple times, put it back there, so she's really not gonna go anywhere. And then I trap her in here with my legs like that. She really likes it. I made a video here where I found about $1,500 worth of stuff, give or take. I think I might end up selling it for only like $1,000. I don't know, I didn't really keep track, but there was all kinds of like micro cassette tapes and 35mm film and big piles of insulated copper wire and alarms and antennas and radio equipment. And I didn't really know exactly what I was dealing with as I found it, but I'll link that video in the description if you want to check that out. That's a pretty slick video. If you've watched my videos before, you may have seen this Ken's auction house. I've shown this dumpster quite often. The police station is right over there. I'm gonna peek in this auction house. Now you know, if you've seen my videos, you've seen how many times I've stood right here making videos, not just dumpster diving. And there's police cars that drive up and down the street the whole time going in this gate over here. I'm just gonna skip these dumpsters for now because I'm making this specific video. But like I was saying before, this is just another dumpster to me. That belongs to the railroad. So there's actually a cop coming out right now. And as long as I act like a professional, there shouldn't be any trouble. You know what I mean? Just in and out, no loitering, no littering, no trespassing. Act like you belong there. you know. Be a professional. Have a professional attitude, you know. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Cops sense that like a dog senses fear and emotions. They know it's not illegal. Chances are, I mean, well, there could be some cops that think it's illegal. I shouldn't say that, so you got to be careful. Chances are, where you live in the United States, if you've been told that this dumpster diving is illegal, chances are it's just simply not true. You were just told that by someone that was told that, who was told that by someone who didn't really understand what they were talking about. You know, there could be police and property owners that tell you it's illegal, to deter you from doing it. That doesn't mean that it is. The golden rule is just always, no matter what, be polite and leave instantly. You know, you could carry like a little card with like your YouTube channel name or like your email address or something that identifies you, that you can hand out to people, you know. That will help with any tension, you know, makes people feel like, you know, you're a dumpster diver, you're making money recycling metal and selling stuff and whatnot, you know. When people understand what you're doing, there really shouldn't be a whole lot of problem. But if you're doing it with a pocket full of drugs, well, that's your own stupidity. Like if a cop drives by you while you're dumpster diving, if you act scared and like you got something to hide, well, then expect some attention from him. That's their job, that's what they do. There might be some bizarro land that has a city ordinance about dumpster diving specifically. That could be possible. It's highly unlikely. So I'm not giving you legal advice. Make sure you know what you're doing on your own account. Be responsible for yourself. It's highly unlikely though. Highly, 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 highly unlikely. You've been told that there's a city ordinance. It's still probably highly, 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 highly unlikely. It could be possible. Check it out. We got the state police troop headquarters. This is the fourth one that's legitimately on my dumpster diving routes. There's more I could go do, but I'm keeping it real. This is just another dumpster to me. It's no big deal. As long as you have a professional attitude, they're really not going to care. There's a motorcycle shop over here. This place throws away some good scrap metal. I'm not sure why. In my experience, vehicle shops generally will be scrapping their own metal. Let's go see what it looks like. I haven't been here in a while. I guess they do have a scrap metal bin. For some reason they put a large quantity of scrap metal in their actual garbage. I guess that's always been there now that I think about it. But I have gotten grips of scrap metal out of this garbage dumpster. Oh, it was dumped probably Friday. They haven't put anything in there. Let's see what the recycle dumpster looks like. That is dumped also. For one reason or the other, they'll throw some good scrap metal in their garbage. I'm not sure why. It could have just been an employee making mistakes. Doesn't understand what to do. So that thing's just full of metal. That's illegal. You will get arrested and taken to jail for getting in metal dumpsters like that. When you see a dumpster full of only metal, don't ever touch it. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a camera pointed right at this thing. Yeah, there is, right up there. I'm glad that I made that point. I'm glad I came here to end this video. I will also link, there's a bed frame up there. Weed eater handle. I'll link in the description, I'll link up my video about those illegal dumpsters. Recycled dumpsters are illegal. It's along the same lines as, like I was saying earlier in the video, about out on the East Coast and maybe other places where the city has ordinance against you taking stuff off the curb, trash picking. And that mainly, I'm pretty sure, is because they're dealing with organized crime rings where they'll drive around in trucks picking that stuff up. And the city will lose out on millions of dollars worth of recycling revenue. I'm pretty sure that's where that comes from. But when it comes to big stashes of recycling, it gets very valuable. So it's kind of the same lines. Those dumpsters are definitely illegal. You won't just get a ticket, you'll get taken to jail. Anyways, I'll link that up down in the description. It's I can't remember the exact title. Something about illegal dumpsters and legal dumpsters. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed riding along with us. Say bye. Bye, everybody. And as always, thanks for watching. One thing I forgot to mention that I really should have. If you're doing this on a bicycle or a little two-wheel vehicle, scooter, motorcycle, what have you, it's gonna be a lot less invasive, a lot less of a nuisance to the public. You're gonna get a lot less attention. Personally, I wouldn't pull into any of those police stations if I was in a great big truck or even a car where I have to, you know, get out of my door and close my door and or what have you, walk around, and if I find something, I have to load up the back of my truck with stuff. It just is going to attract so much more attention. And like this thing, I can zip in, look in a dumpster like that, nothing in there, I just leave. You know, if there's something in there, I just grab it and throw it in here and just leave. It's so much faster and it's so much less of a nuisance to everyone. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say, that it's a real important point actually. If you're in a truck or car, you're going to attract a lot more attention, a ton more attention. I really should have said that earlier in the video, but there you go. Another thing that I forgot to bring up is doing it like this on a two-wheeler. It's visible, you know, people looking at you, and they can tell pretty much exactly what you're doing, you know what I mean? Whereas in a car or a truck, there's a different factor involved. They don't know what you're doing, you know. They might think that you're dumping stuff in there, and that really makes a lot of people angry, and it'll get a ton of attention, and they might come freak out on you just because they don't know what you're doing. So there's some issues I don't really talk about, but that's probably an important one. That's pretty clear what I'm doing. You know, if someone walks up and takes a glance, I mean, it's that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, now thanks for watching.